Now, the figures are staggering. As many as 10,000 people are executed every year in China, and there's growing evidence that a large number have been falsely convicted. Some have been tortured into confessing. From Hebei in northern China, our correspondent Rupert Wingfield-Hayes sent this report.
In an orchard in northern China, a mother has come to grieve for her dead son, buried beneath the apple trees. She's crying for a son who was killed by the state for a crime that he did not commit. Mama is here, she cries. I haven't forgotten. I will get you justice. Her son, Nie Shubin, was just 19 when he was taken away by the police. A week later, they came to tell his family he'd confessed to murdering a young woman. It was an accusation his parents refused to believe.
The
lawyer went to see my son. All he did was cry. He couldn't talk. He was in such a state. The lawyer asked him why he had confessed. Because they beat me, he said. That's what the lawyer told us.
It didn't matter. Shubin had confessed, and despite having no other evidence, he was convicted and executed, a single bullet to the back of his head. Then last year, another man came forward and admitted that he had killed the young woman. Old Mr. Nie was so distraught by his son's death, he drank pesticide to try and kill himself. Today, he's a broken man.
What's really horrifying about Nie Shubin's story is that it's very far from being unique. China carries out executions on an industrial scale. There are literally thousands of people put to death here every year. If you're accused of a crime that carries the death penalty in China, you have a 99% chance of being convicted. And most of those convictions are based on confessions.
And according to human rights groups, many of those confessions are extracted using torture. Anybody who doubts it should hear what happened to this man. 12 years ago, She Xianglin confessed to murdering his wife. He was convicted and sentenced to death. But She had not murdered his wife. She wasn't even dead.
It's difficult to talk about what they did. I knew I hadn't killed my wife, but they kept me awake and tortured me for 10 days and 11 nights. In the end, my brain went blank. I wanted to die. I was willing to say anything.
She was lucky. His death sentence was commuted. After 11 years in solitary confinement, he was finally released. His wife had been found alive and well. China continues to condemn people to death en masse and in public. This is an execution rally from just 2 months ago. But how many of these young men and women being trucked off to be shot are actually innocent? Rupert Wingfield-Hayes, BBC News in Hebei, northern China.